Assalamu alaikum students, I hope you all are fine. Students, we are in unit 1, that is fundamentals of computer. Students, we are studying computer hardware, and so far we have studied input devices, system unit, and inside the system unit we talk about motherboard, processor and its components, ALU, CU, registers. Then we study storage devices, output devices, and in the last lesson we were discussing the memory and its types, that is ROM, RAM and cache memory. In today's lesson we will study and we will talk about the ports, expansion slots and expansion cards. Ports. A port is the interface or point of attachment to the system unit. External devices or peripherals are often attached to the system unit by a cable through ports. Common types of ports include serial port, parallel port and USB port. Here in this picture we can see that the serial port is used for different PDAs, personal digital assistants and serial devices like monitor, etc. While PS2 ports, these are also some kind of old technology ports. The PS2 port is used for attaching the mouse or keyboard with the system unit. Further, parallel port used for printers and data. And then we have the games port, which is used for attaching the joysticks and MIDI input. But in modern computers, all of these ports, they are replaced by the USB. That's why it is called universal serial bus, because it's a universal port. USB port is a universal port in which almost every type of peripheral device can be attached. The main difference between a serial port and a parallel port is that a serial port transmits data one bit after another, while a parallel port transmits all 8 bits of a byte in parallel. So this is the main difference between serial port and parallel port, that a serial port sends data one bit after one another, means bit by bit the data is sent by a serial port, while parallel port can send the whole byte, means a whole 8 bits at a time. So this is the difference between serial and parallel port. Computers have both serial and parallel ports along with newer technology called a USB, that is Universal Serial Bus port. In desktop computers we can have these different type of serial port and parallel ports along with the USB, but as far as the modern desktop computers, some of the desktop computers and laptops are concerned, so they in those modern computers or laptops, all these serial and parallel ports are replaced by the USB port. So this was all about the ports, which is written in your book. Then we have expansion slots. An expansion slot allows the CPU to communicate with peripheral devices. An expansion slot is a socket where a circuit board or expansion card can be inserted into the motherboard to add new devices or capabilities to the computer. I believe that all of you are well aware of all these terms, ports and expansion slots, expansion cards, but this is just to repeat things. Mostly computers have 4 to 8 expansion slots. The well-known expansion slots are The first one, AGP, Accelerated Graphics Port. It's a high-speed expansion slot for attaching a video card or graphics card to a computer's motherboard to display 3D computer graphics. The second well-known and commonly used port, that is ISA, Industry Standard Architecture. It's a slow expansion slot, but now it is very rarely used in computers used to attach input devices or modems. PCI, Peripheral Component Interconnect. These are the abbreviations of these different slots. Peripheral Component Interconnect is a computer expansion slot for attaching expansion cards in a computer like sound card. So these are some of the well-known expansion slots that we have in our computer. This is the picture of a motherboard, and we can see that these three well-known ports are labeled. The port which is exactly at the middle of this motherboard is called AGP, Accelerated Graphic Port. So this slot is used for attaching graphics card. Further, at the right side of this motherboard we have the slots, three slots which are called ISA slots, Industry Standard Architecture slots. And further, the white slots which are labeled, 4 slots are shown in this image. They are the PCI slots, Peripheral Component Interconnect slots. So this is the labeled picture of motherboard in which these 3 different slots are labeled. Third, we have expansion cards in our computer. An expansion card is a circuit board that can be inserted into an expansion slot on the motherboard to add new devices or capabilities to the computer. They are also called interface cards. The most commonly used expansion cards are graphics card. It is also called video card and is used to display images on the screen. Further, we have sound card. It is used for voice input and output. Modem card. The modem card is used for communication purposes via telephone lines. Network interface card. It is used for the transmission of data over network, which connects various computers and other devices such as printer. So these are different commonly used expansion cards in the images of these expansion cards are, this is the graphics card, then sound card, internal modem, this one is the external modem. All of these are different types of expansion cards. Further, we have the wireless NIC card, wireless network interface card, and the wired network interface card, which is used to connect the Ethernet connection with the computer, and it is also inserted in the PCI slot. So these are few examples of expansion cards. Okay students, if you have any question you can ask me in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe my channel Computer Tuition Academy. Thanks a lot, take care, Allah Hafiz.